Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke out the nut. Got some more millies, I keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and end it on Fox. We call them Chauncey cause they gonna chop. Took her out of filers cause of pop. I run it like
Oh, the winter chill. It is sweeping through upstate New York here in late December. But we've got football from Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Buffalo Bills. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Very set.
To throw at the outset, here's Hurts. Now he'll take this and run. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up 2nd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Now he's going to step up and run. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback, too.
Hey, let's go. Trimmer. Man.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Down to the 10. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Lad McConkey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bills march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Extra point splits the uprights. And that makes the score 7-0.
Bills 7, Dolphins nothing. Cam Little to kick off.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Fontaine. A short one there, caught by Warren. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And that will bring up 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Nice little nifty play for him there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover,
it'll be a loss of 7 on the the sack, and it brings up second. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement, because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a third down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it, because 4 for 4 already, I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on third down.
We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game, and it will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Brings up 2nd and 8.
From the 31, here's 2nd down and 8.
Let's go. Let's go.
They run out of the gun with Irvin. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That burst good for 20 and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
4 yards on the pickup there, as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for first. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
Well, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
A gain of 3 yards. It's now 4th down and 1.
They'll try it now with Irvin. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Bucky Irving hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33.
180.
They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
And the Bills, 1st down. 1st and 10.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. The Bills are 12-2 now on the year. They were winners the last time out, so they'll be looking here to make it 2 in a row.
And when you and I watched tape preparing for this, what we saw was a team that competed hard, and they played well in all three phases of the game. And I think if they can carry that over to this week, they've got a really good chance to emerge victorious yet again.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
From the gun, it's Taylor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. He was brought down by Foyesade and Lewican. These two teams all tied after one. They work now on 2nd and 9.
No touch that. Hey, let's go. Trimmer.
Throwing is Hurts. A pass complete to Adunze. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Rome Adunze, his 21st touchdown of the season. And the Bills have taken the lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone.
Dolphins 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he returns this to the 22.
The Dolphins take over first and 10.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Good work after the catch, gets him 15 and a first down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relation.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Bucky Irving with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And able to get this out to the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. First and 10, Taylor now. That's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Defensively, they were in the 3-4. Solid run up the middle. What made it successful?
Well, what you have to do is control the nose guard, but sometimes you don't do it by blocking him. You do it by influencing him. Get him moving to one side or the other and hit him back on the opposite.
Hey, 73.
Here's Hurts to throw. And this will be swung out wide for Taylor. And they're going to be he's set up down around the 15-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, it certainly doesn't matter if it's been through the air like on this play or on the ground. I don't know what's going on with this defense. In a sense, they've been AWOL on this drive so far. 3 plays, 3 first downs given up. They've got to find answers, and they've got to find them quick.
Hurts. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
Running straight ahead, Taylor. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
63.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
A 2-yard gain.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Well, certainly not how they drew it up. A 4th down gamble turns into a 4th down scramble. But all is well. First down.
Great. Set. 180.
Taylor is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Well, I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
On 2nd and goal, Hurts. Touchdown, Bills! Jonathan Taylor, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Bills have moved out in front. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance they stop passing now the way that it's going. I think they'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level. Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
This throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Here's a 2nd and 7. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's see, he'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll try and run him with Irving. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
That's good for a Dolphins first down. 1st and 10 at the 46.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. That's caught right side. It's Warren. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Dolphin passing game rolling here. They've got another first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. A gain of 8 there on the 8th play of the drive. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2. Operating from the gun, Fontaine. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Malik Neighbors, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. The kick is through the uprights to tie this game, but hang on a second. We do have a flag, and they'll accept that penalty.
Will Reichert to kick off.
A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Just over 30 seconds to go in the half. They've got it 1st and 10.
Great. Set. On anyone.
They go play action with Hurts. Open man down the field. That's Odunze. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Wide open receiver, complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And 22 more yards there and another first down.
It's a well-designed play here. 3 wide receivers in the formation. They're all going to run deep routes to put pressure on the safeties, and then they let their tight end cut his route off a little shorter and work toward the middle of the field. That's a difficult route to try to defend.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Now is 2nd and 10.
Great. Set. On anyone.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. So left side, it's complete. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
That's another Bills first down. first and goal.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4.
180, 180.
They'll run here with Taylor.
Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2.
On the tackle. No gain on the play.
Again, it'll be Taylor. And this time he is in. Jonathan Taylor in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Dolphins 21. Cam Little to kick off.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Second down and 6 now from the 26. That one taken in by Neighbors. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So from the 36 now, first and 10.
First down. First and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Back to throw. Fontaine. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
Well, the great coach has said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush one, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
A shotgun handoff here to Irving. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 114 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. He had a really solid first half running the football and picking up where he left off here in the third quarter.
How about the yardage he's piling up right now? This feels like a full game.
And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Nick Scorton racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Well, that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
A short one there, caught by Warren. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. Third and 14. Looking to throw. Fontaine. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Here's 2nd and 7.
Great, set. Miami.
Again, it's Taylor. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
A lot depended on the spot there, and he got it, but it wasn't by much, was it? I remember Coach Madden talking about, depending on which foot the official used, that would tell you whether you had the first down or not. You want that upfield foot to be the one that spots the ball, don't you?
And you and I have the luxury of a couple extra views here in the booth, and he did get it, but not by much. From the 35, here's a 2nd and 7. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And it is caught. And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
Back to throw now on 1st down. On the throw, let him too much that time. It's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now for getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
180.
They give to Taylor out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Great, set. 180 with it.
They'll set up a throw. Now Hurts is going to do it himself. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, here's Taylor. And Taylor, I don't think he got there. No, he did not. Unable to break free, and he's marked short. Defensively, they rally the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st. Oh, they're changing this at the line. And they're not going to get this one off in time. It'll be a delay. That flag, that'll push them back 5. And now the field goal team on for Buffalo. They'll spot it at the 30, so this is a 40-yard attempt. And this one is right through. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
Well, you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Fontaine. A short one there, caught by Warren. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 7. Back to throw. Fontaine. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 49-yard line. Looking to throw. Fontaine. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Fontaine. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
When he decided to run a hitch route, it really helped to have a guy can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run out to catch, but it worked really well.
On 3rd down, they go with Irvin. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
Brings up 4th down and 1.
They'll send Mitchell in motion right. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
A very solid gain of 27.
First and goal at the 10-yard line.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. Fontaine. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Bucky Irving with his 3rd touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Dolphins have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. That last touchdown has made this really tight. They're clinging now to this slim lead. The second half, they only have a field goal. This offense needs to kick it into gear.
And right now,
there he goes, left side. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, 73 yards. And the Bills use the big play to extend their fourth-quarter lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Cam Little to kick off.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit out as they will send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here. They are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Brian Brzee busting through to get him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Operating from the gun, Fontaine looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Malik Neighbors with his second touchdown of the night. And the Dolphins are back within a score. Extra point splits the uprights. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage here, back to his own 18. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. That's taken in by Kraft. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Back to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. His second touchdown of the night. And the Bills get an important score there to extend their lead here this fourth quarter. And that's certainly an important touchdown there. It makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
45. Dolphins 35. Cam Little to kick off.
Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Fontaine.
The first down pass. It's a pickup.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Here's 2nd down.
Let's go now. 19 target.
Looking to throw. Fontaine. That's complete. It's Natives. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 43-yard line.
Now a give, Irving running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
He's getting Pickens complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Fontaine. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continue to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. to go for with such little time remaining. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. So for Buffalo, they continue to rack up the victories as this one moves them to 13-2 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once? I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it.